So I have a feeling you guys are really going to like this story because this one is crazy. This one is coming out of California, and you guys already know anything that's coming out of California is guaranteed to be absolutely insane. Now, there is a recent article that has come out from the Daily Signal that's talking about how apparently in California, telling the truth is illegal. Now, you're probably wondering, what the hell am I talking about? Well, good old state of California, which has good old Gavin Newsom running the show, has decided that they're going to force Shake Shack to pay $20,000 to a former employee that simply said he was misgendered, she was misgendered, whatever the hell it is. They said they were misgendered, and just by simply saying they were misgendered, they now are being paid $20,000 from Shake Shack because of it, and they're being forced to by California. So we're going to get into this article, guys, but of course, before we do, just consider giving this video a like to push us out into the YouTube algorithm, and consider subscribing because we're on our way to 25,000 subscribers. It says from the Daily Signal, even if you've got the courage to speak up and say the emperor has no clothes, the state of California will not let you. California's Civil Rights Department is forcing burger chain Shake Shack to pay $20,000 to a former employee who alleged that he faced misgendering in the workplace, aka fellow employees refusing to indulge in adults' gender-swapping fantasy. The former burger flipper, or perhaps cashier or shake maestro, says he was repeatedly misgendered by coworkers and that when he complained, management failed to take reasonable steps to correct the behavior, according to a press release from the state Civil Rights Department. Now, this is the world that we're living in, ladies and gentlemen. This is the world that we're in right now, where you can literally tell someone, hey, you are a man, you are a biological man, and you are going to essentially get either sued for it or now have to pay fines because you decided to tell the truth in the situation. They cannot argue you on a biological fact, but this is not what they're trying to do. They're trying to compel your speech. They're trying to compel your thoughts. They're trying to force you to think a certain way and to bend the knee and abide by their rule and their thought process. Like, that's what they're trying to do. You don't have a say in this matter, and that's essentially what's happening here. The fact that this employee can be, making this up. I mean, let's be real. He's making it up anyway. But let's say he really thought he was trans, right? He could simply make this up. He can lie and say, oh, they misgendered me, have absolutely no facts about it whatsoever to back it up, even though this situation cannot have any facts because he's not a woman. You know what I mean? But again, this is the problem that's going on in our society right now, and California is going to be the spearhead in this situation. I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, that this is going to follow us in multiple different states. All the blue states are going to adopt some sort of policy that is going to follow this kind of mantra. I guarantee you, they are going to make misgendering a law in multiple different states and force you to pay fines, force you to be open up to lawsuits, whatever the case may be. It's absolutely insane. So it says, and instead, the employee alleges that management told him repeatedly that he would have to explain his gender to coworkers rather than rely on management to correct discriminatory behavior. I think that's fine. Like, if you are the one that is requesting someone to compel their speech and to live in your fantasy, perhaps you are the one that needs to have that conversation. You are the one that needs to explain why you are doing this to people in the first place. You need to do that, not the management. The management is not the one that has to force people to compel their speech for you. You're the one that's insane, not them. It says, as a result, the employee left a Shake Shack restaurant in Oakland after a month of employment, and the California Rights Civil Department took up his crusade, resulting in a pre-litigation settlement with Shake Shack that includes a $20,000 payout to the employee and the burger chains committing to new policies and training. California law prohibits intentional misgendering in the workplace, said Kevin Kish, director of the Civil Rights Department. In a statement announcing the settlement, intentional misgendering and other forms of discrimination based on gender identity and gender expression can be stressful and traumatic. Oh my God. The absolute weakness that these people must have to consider misgendering stressful and traumatic. I mean, it is insane to me that we are literally letting people live in fantasy land. Like, I wish that we can come together as a community and as a society and just call it what it is. It's absolutely craziness. Like, this entire thing is craziness. To even try to say otherwise is, in my opinion, crazy. Like, you just cannot You cannot walk around and try to tell people that they are supposed to believe your fantasy world, right? That's like if these kids who walk around and they play pretend all the time, right? Kids play pretend all the time, but at the end of the day, the adults are telling them that it's not real, right? The adults are telling them like, hey, your imaginary friend, he's not real. Why are we not doing this with adults that are playing pretend? Like we do it with kids who are playing pretend, but mentally ill adults who are playing pretend, we can't do that with. All of a sudden now it's not allowed. All of a sudden now it's a crime. Or in this scenario, it's something that a company has to do a payout for because they don't want to get sued for more money. So it's just crazy to me, man. Like it's obvious that this entire thing is bullshit, but they're going to keep going with it anyway. And these civil rights departments love doing this because it takes money out of, it takes money out of these corporations and puts it in their pocket. It says, what about being forced to lie by the government? Can that be stressful and traumatic? Think about a similar situation that is about anything other than gender. What if the employee was 20 but identify as 70? If you're rolling your eyes, consider this. In 2018, a 69-year-old Dutch man and positivity trainer Emil Rattleban went to court because he wanted to identify as a 49-year-old, saying it would help him on a dating app and with employment. His request was denied, with the unfeeling judges writing that Rattleban was merely at liberty to feel 20 years younger than his real age and to act accordingly, the BBC reported, emphasis mine. But the quest continues on his Twitter profile. Rattleban identifies as age fluid. Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this may seem crazy. The whole age fluid concept may seem crazy. The whole, identify as a rabbit may seem crazy. But this is how gender identity started, too. Gender identity and trying to identify as a woman when you are a man or vice versa, that was deemed crazy 20 years ago. And now look at us. Now look at our overly progressive country that we're in that is now allowing this mental illness to foster. So if you think that this cannot become a norm, if you think that this cannot become something that they're going to try to make into law, something that's going to be punishable by misgendering, you're crazy to think that, because at this point, they have proven that they will continue to go as far as we let them to go. We cannot let them go any further than this. We need to backtrack a little bit, but no, their country is continuing to go down this rabbit hole, and it's only going to get worse. I guarantee you, there is no good outcome for the country if we have people who are mentally ill making you pay fines, making you get sued. There's no good outcome for this country if that is allowed to continue to foster. And unfortunately, it is allowed to continue to foster. There is more people that is fighting back, without a doubt. There is more and more people that are fighting back, but it's not enough. It's not enough. And honestly, we need a lot more women to fight back. The women are the ones that are unfortunately being very complacent, and we need more women to get involved and call this shit out for what it is, because at the end of the day, the gender identity nonsense is going on right now. It's not affecting men. Men are chilling. Men are doing the same thing we've always done, because we don't allow anybody to erase us, because nobody can even try. But unfortunately for you women, biological men who couldn't hack it as men are now trying to identify as women to have a better chance at life, and you're letting it happen. A lot of you guys are letting it happen, unfortunately, and that's the sad part about all of this. So we need more women to get off their ass and fight against this, and you will have men join you on the front lines, but unfortunately you have to be the ones to lead the charge, because at the end of the day, you are by mass the ones who do vote for this nonsense. So unless something changes mentally in the feminist group, it is not going to get any better for you guys, unfortunately, and the country is going to go down with you. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.